Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. Hey kids, today I'm bringing you a pirated version of CCP Shill because I just know that YGZ would never do this one. He's too afraid of upsetting his master. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Am I a puppet, a media puppet for the communist government in China?
If you tune in to Chinese state media at all right now, and keep in mind, every media in China is Chinese state media.
For some of you, you may know that I was on TV a short while ago, and what happened was, I basically, as you can see over here, was part of a big promotion piece for Shenzhen, which is the city that I, of course, have been living in for the last 13 and a half years of my life. And the gist of this show was they were showing how Shenzhen is a special kind of a city. And it's the kind of city that it doesn't matter what your background is, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you come to Shenzhen, you're basically welcome and you are part of the city.
Now, if you're not familiar with Chinese state media or propaganda, you might actually start believing some of this stuff.
I've been on TV in Shenzhen for years.
If you tune in to Chinese state media at all right now, and keep in mind, every media in China is Chinese state media.
I have also appeared a lot in the local newspapers. Both the English newspaper, in fact, I've appeared so often in the local English newspaper in Shenzhen that the editor, when I was invited to one of their events, called me aside and said, "Listen, I don't know what we can do because you've been in our newspaper more than any other foreigner ever."
Everything that comes out on media in China is run through a filter or run through the censorship board from the Chinese state. So keep that in mind.
Because I've been in that local English newspaper probably around 16 or 17 times over the years. It's not only the English language newspaper, I have also been in the Chinese language newspapers as well. The fact is, I have been in the local press so often in Shenzhen, and not only Shenzhen, in other publications around the country as well.
If you tune in to Chinese state media at all right now, and keep in mind, every media in China is Chinese state media.
I would very often be accused of being a spy, a Chinese spy.
Give me a break.
I was accused very often of being sort of a shill for the communist government or a shill for China.
Everything that comes out on media in China is run through a filter or run through the censorship board from the Chinese state. So keep that in mind.
The few times that I have interacted with the government, it's usually because I'm doing a job for them. They do like me, and so I honestly do believe that they always are the ones that step in and stop me from being kicked out.
This shill has been busted.